Today, I'm going to find out which iconic JDM legend is the best. This is my first video like this, and I really hope to do a lot more, so if you enjoy it, please do like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you have any tips or feedback I can use to improve the quality of this video and future videos, and with that, let's get straight to it. This is a 1998 Toyota Supra, which I had no idea was originally released as a variant of the Toyota Celica in 1978, but then it became its own car in 1986. It's got a 3-litre straight 6 engine, and it's the first of its kind. This one in particular, the 4th gen, is the first of its kind to be naturally aspirated. And all of that together makes this rear-wheel drive little bundle of fun. So much fun to drive. This car in particular is, like I was saying, it's so much fun to drive. I feel with the Supra that it's one of those cars that if you had the Hot Wheels version of this car when you were a kid, it was probably your favorite Hot Wheels, and it still has that vibe even driving one like this. It's just so much fun, and I can't get over how much fun it is. Of the 3 cars that I'm going to be driving today, this one is probably going to be my favorite. Not because it's got any particularly fancy engineering or anything like that compared to the others, but it just looks good, and it really is just so fun to drive, and it makes me smile. It's so playful. You can drive really fast, and the car just on its own, like right now, it likes to just flick the tail out just a little bit, but it never takes control away from you while you're driving, and it just makes it such a delight. It feels like the purpose of this car is just to make you smile, and I love it. It's such a good time. This is a 1997 Mazda RX-7, which is the only one of the 3 cars I'm going to be driving today that has a rotary engine. If you don't know what that means, you're going to have to look it up because it's way too complicated to try and explain right now, but just know that it's an engine that is basically made out of Doritos. This, like the Supra, is a rear-wheel drive, which does make it incredibly fun to throw around corners. Like the Supra, it just is a bundle of fun to drive, though I have to say, it feels a little wilder. Oh my gosh! It feels a little wilder than the Supra does. It's a little bit more ready to just throw itself out, which isn't a bad thing by any means. The most important feature when it comes to this car is, of course, the fact that it has pop-up headlights, which is just a whole bunch of extra points that it has over the other 2. Keeping it on the road is a little trickier, but no less fun. Another thing about this car is if you are familiar with it, you can recognize it anywhere, especially from the rear end. Holy cow, is the butt end of this thing iconic and recognizable. As far as JDM icons go, this one's very much up there. It is probably one that I would say is a member of the Holy Trinity. Although, there is another that I think contends for its spot, but we might talk about it a little later on. This is fun to drive, but I have to say, it's not making me smile in the same way as the Supra. The Supra just feels, like I said when I was driving it, it feels like it's made to make you smile. This feels closer to a racing machine, which is impressive in its own right, but it's not, I'm not sitting here laughing. I'm not grinning from ear to ear with this one, like I was with the Supra. I love it, it's great, but I'm not falling in love with it. And I think that's an important distinction to make when it comes to cars for me. Because I'm very much about the feel of a car, the look of a car and how fun it is. And I think the Supra just beats it in all of those points. And a fun fact about the RX-7 is that the guy who designed it, his son went on to design the RX-8, which is another favorite of mine as far as car designs go, and is another rotary because it is a further generation of the RX-7, which is really cool. This is a 1997 Nissan Skyline GTR V-Spec, and I'm gonna cop a lot of hate for this, but it's probably my least favorite of the three cars I've driven today. Not because there's anything wrong with it, quite to the contrary, it's one of the most amazingly engineered machines ever built. But that's kind of why I don't like it. To me, that makes it a little bit boring. Yes, it is a phenomenal car. Yes, it looks fantastic. Yes, it goes zoom real good. It does the fast going amazingly. But to me, that kind of takes the fun out of it. If I'm gonna drive a car, I'm always gonna choose the underdog, just because I think someone who could, like, you know, beat a Skyline in a Supra or something that many people would consider inferior, if the Supra won, it's all the more impressive. I think personally that Skylines are better cars that make for worse drivers. But with that said, it is the only one of the three cars I'm driving today that has all-wheel drive, which means that it has phenomenal grip relative to the other two. So I'm gonna put my foot down. I don't dislike it because I think it's bad. I dislike it because it's simply too good. Holy heck. What a machine. It does feel fantastic going around the corners, and that is because the all-wheel drive just gives it so much more grip. You have so much more power and control going straight from the engine to the road. And you can really feel the difference. Does it automatically mean that it's going to make me a better driver? No. But it probably means that in a lot of instances it's going to be easier for me to drive. Like, that felt so natural and simple. Even this corner, like, it just corners absolutely fantastically. And it might seem kind of contradictory to myself, but that is something that I do look for in cars, is like, yes, it's really cool when a car can go really fast in a straight line, but I think it's a lot cooler when a car can go really fast around corners. I'll take a lower powered car that can corner better than a drag car any day. Even playing games like Forza, I often build my cars to handle better because I know I'll be able to take all of my opponents in the corners where their cars are weakest because they always just build for ultimate power. And it's just not my style. So really this thing should be right up my alley, but it's simply too good. I'm sorry. So now we have our three cars. The legendary Supra, the iconic RX-7, and the racing monster Nissan GT-R Skyline. But I really want to find out which one's the fastest. And there only really seems like one obvious way to find that out. A drag race. In case it wasn't clear, in third place we got the Toyota Supra with 24 seconds. In second place, the GT-R Skyline with 23.9 seconds. And then in first place, absolutely whipping the other two, is the RX-7 with 23.2 seconds. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, because if there's one thing that rotary engines are known for, it's out of this world acceleration. So even with the overwhelming grip of the all-wheel drive in the Skyline, it's just no match for that rotary engine. But I have a strange feeling that that might change if we introduce some corners. So I took these three cars and I did a circuit race in each of them to see how they fared when you introduce corners to the speed. We start with the Supra. The Supra was exactly what I expected. It was fun above anything else. It didn't feel particularly quick, but I had a blast driving it. It just loves to whip its tail out in the corners, and it just feels good to drive. And I'm not the best driver ever, so this really is more of a test of how fast I can get these cars around here, as opposed to how fast they can get around here, period. And I have the feeling that the Supra is maybe going to be the one that lags behind here. So I did 4 laps of this circuit in the Toyota Supra, and the best lap time I got was 2 minutes and 13.2 seconds. Obviously, we don't know how that compares because we don't have anything to compare it to yet, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be the fastest. There's not much I can say about the RX-7 that I haven't said already. It was a lot scarier to take around the track. It felt like it wanted to go harder and wanted to push harder, and that just made it harder to control. It wanted to go, it wanted to slide, it just power, 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 which just made it really hard to keep on the road. I was either gearing down too much or not slowing down enough coming into the corners. I bounced off a couple walls going around the track, but it still felt quick, and I think that's probably where the RX-7 shines, in that you can make mistakes, but it has the capacity to make up for it. All in all, taking the RX-7 around this course was terrifying, but it was still fun. There we have it. After 4 laps, the best time I got was 2 minutes and 13.7 seconds, which actually makes it slower than the Supra, which is surprising. It felt so much faster, but again, I made a lot more mistakes. The Skyline, again, was exactly what I expected. It performed phenomenally. Any issues were skill issues on my part. It just has the power and the grip to just take these tracks apart easily. It didn't feel quick, but it felt so much more controlled, and I think that's where the power of the GTR lies, in that it's got such a perfect balance of power and handling, as well as the brakes I found to be particularly phenomenal. Though that didn't mean I was exempt from making significant mistakes, but ultimately the GTR did pretty much all of the work for me. And like I said, any mistakes were my own, not the fault of the car at all. So after 4 laps in the Nissan GTR, it whipped the other two with a best lap of 2 minutes and 7.7 seconds. Not to anyone's surprise, driving a Skyline is almost cheating, because it is such a brilliant machine. But of course, we can't drive JDM Legends without doing a little drifting, so I set up a downhill drift route, and I took each car down, starting, of course, with the Supra. Let's go. Get some speed. Get back into the feel of this. Oh, got that a little tight. But we're still sliding, and that's all that matters. Oh, sliding a little too far, though. Oops, I took out a little bit of that barrier. Whoopsies. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Sideways. 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 Oops. Just like with the circuit race, this is about how well I can drift these cars, not how well these cars drift. And again, this is not something I'm particularly proficient at. Oof. Ooh, took out some of that barrier too. Whoopsies. Let's just get some speed up. Slide on its own, that's fine. Whoop, 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 whoop. Look out, there's a rock. It'll buff out. It's going to be my catchphrase at this rate. Could have been better, but at least it was clean. Come on, come on. The thing to remember is this is a stock Supra. I haven't put any drift upgrades or anything on it. It doesn't have special suspension. It doesn't have special tires. This is a stock Supra. Straight from the factory. Or as close as I can get. If I could be doing this in real life, I absolutely would. The only way I'll ever get there is with your help and support. By liking the video and subscribing to help my channel grow. Come on. Making good progress down the hill. Can't wait to do this in Japan in Forza Horizon 6. Oh. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everyone chill. I recovered, sort of. It wasn't pretty. We're nearly at the bottom. Oh. Nice. That was good. Was good. Lost a bit of speed for that one, but that's okay. Eek. Didn't even get to slide around that. I came in too fast and too hard. That was bad. Might be the last hairpin. Ooh. And I absolutely butchered it. Well, there might be one more. Or two more, including this one, I suppose. The foliage. The foliage! Maybe I'm not as near the bottom as I thought. Oh, gosh. This ain't no Ken Block Gymkhana video where I just do it a whole bunch of times and cut together the best bits. You can rest assured this is all in one take. Because otherwise I would look much better than I do right now. Oh man. Alright, this one down here is the final hairpin, I'm certain. And I've absolutely ruined it. I've gone off. Oh man. You won't see that in a Gymkhana video. Holy buckets. Rest assured, if you guys help me make more of these videos by supporting the channel, I will get better at this, I promise. Oh. The Supra is just so much fun to drift. It slides in a way that is just playful. It doesn't make you lose control. Yes, I still made mistakes. Yes, I still kind of suck at drifting. But it was just fun. There's really not much more I can say about the Supra. The key word when describing it is just fun. It's just such a fun car. But let's see how I go with the scary ride that is the RX-7. Okay. Let's see how difficult you are to control on it downhill. Oh. So much wilder than the Supra, oh my gosh. Ooh, cut in a little too sharp. Cut in a little sharp. We're on the gravel. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll make up for it further down. Sideways. Not heaps of sideways, but sideways enough. Oh, I really thought this one was gonna be the winner of the drifting. I really expected this one to be better than the Supra, but it's just wild. Just hard to control. Which, you know, skill issue, for sure. Ugh. But it is, I will say, it's allowing me to keep up speed a lot better than the Supra was able to. And I didn't hit that rock, so, like, you know, I think I accidentally just shifted up instead of down there. That's me. That's my bad. Okay. Come on, you good thing. Let's keep it up. I feel like I'm making heaps better progress down the mountain in this than I was in the Supra. But I am so much more scared of this thing killing me. I don't know, I feel like I'm starting to get it a little bit. Oh, he says, and then accidentally cuts a corner. And come on, come on, come on. That wankle engine, oh my gosh. The sound of that rotary redlining, it's intense. I'm starting to feel it, I'm starting to feel it. It's coming together. Halfway down the hill and I'm starting to be like, yeah, no, maybe this is the way. Oh, no, I lost it. I lost it. Every time I say something positive, I throw it out the window. I am doing this in one take, by the way. I had a couple of tries with the Supra, as you guys will know if you watched the original behind the scenes stream, which you can find on my channel, because I was still figuring out how to set all this up and get it all to work. But this is the only time I've made this run in the RX-7. Damn. Not enough speed to carry it. Pardon me, around there. Alright. Gosh, I'm fumbling my gears. Oops. That button is in such an inconvenient spot. Not enough speed. Come on. And across the line. I don't think that was too bad. The RX-7, I think, is definitely the car that requires the most skill, which I think is great. I think that's really cool, but it is a little less fun if you're just out for fun than the Supra, but it has the capacity, I think, to be so much more than the Supra, especially in the drift world, which, of course, is why it is the most iconic car out of the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. However, I don't think that's going to be the case for the Skyline. Go! Slow launch on this thing. Alright, let's see how this thing drifts with all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive is great for grip. Which is, oh, this corner gives me trouble every time. Grip is not necessarily what you want when drifting. Oh. Difference might still just be more speed. It still goes sideways, but I feel like it just regains traction a little quicker. It doesn't want to stay out there. Oh my gosh. I mean, of course there is skill issue to be considered. And I've never tried to drift a Skyline before. I've never even really driven a Skyline before. Just, oh, it doesn't want to play. Come on. That's more like it, but again, it just comes back. It just wants to come back. It doesn't want to go sideways, it wants to go forwards. Got my focus face on now, I've stopped talking, but can always fix that in post. Isn't that right, future me? Or the all-wheel drive does make it handle the bits where I accidentally go off the road a little better, I can say that. Ooh, that felt pretty clean. What am I doing? Fumbled the gears. Just gonna get some speed up. Sacrifice that corner. Still just doesn't wanna. Give up the booty car. Give it up. Throw it back. Send it out. Please. Please. Ugh. Not enough. I'm sure with some drift tires and a better setup, this thing can slide for days. But as it is, completely factory stock. Just doesn't want to play ball all that much. Ugh. Don't lose it, don't. Ugh. Blasting. Buggery. Alright, let's try and pick some speed back up. Of the three cars, the Supra, the Supra, the RX-7, and this Skyline, this one definitely wants to play the least. This machine is all performance, all seriousness, no fun. It's really not. It's just not fun. It's brilliant, but it's serious and grumpy. And it just wants to show everyone that it's the best. Like the people who love them so much also tend to have in common with it. That's a rather rude blanket statement, and I take it back, kind of. People who are hardcore Skyline devotees, like, there's a little bit of that, I think. Alright, come on, hairpin. Might have just slowed down too much. Oh, we're coming around. I mean, it wasn't great, but I made it the whole way around. We're done. So there you have it. The Skyline was honestly just really hard to drift. It just wanted to grip. It just wanted to straighten out. And like I said on the downhill, it's very much likely a skill issue on my part, but I think it does just require a bit more skill to drift. So with that being said, now that I've taken all three cars down the hill, I have to say the Supra is still my favorite. It's just so playful. It just wants to whip its tail out, but it doesn't want to take the control. It doesn't make you feel like you're going to fly off the cliff at any moment. It doesn't make you feel like you're losing control even a little bit. It just is like, it just wants to dance and play. And that made it so much more fun than the other two. So that was a complete blast, but it does leave us with a slight problem. The RX-7 was the fastest in a straight line. The Skyline was the fastest around corners, and the Supra was the most fun to drift. So where does that leave us? Now, there is a fourth car that I've considered multiple times when filming this video, and I mentioned that I might talk about it a little bit earlier in the video when I was driving the RX-7, because if I had to replace one of the three of these JDM cars that I consider to be the most iconic, I think the RX-7 is probably the one that it would replace, because you can't get rid of the Skyline. It's probably the most iconic, thanks to the Fast and the Furious and just its performance as a machine overall. But you also can't get rid of the Supra. Again, Fast and Furious really helped, and I think it's just that little bit more iconic, that little bit more recognizable to more casual fans of cars and racing than the RX-7. But the fourth car that I think could possibly take the place of the RX-7, or at minimum is a honorable mention, is the Mitsubishi Evo. Now, personally, I don't like them either. I just don't look at them and get excited like I do with a Supra. And the reason that I chose not to include it in the video, ultimately, was because I had a rotary engine, an all-wheel drive car, and what is basically a Hot Wheels toy in the three that I chose, and I didn't want to have two all-wheel drives against the Supra. But personally, when it comes down to style points and feel and love and aesthetic, which is what I'm all about, I think the Supra takes the cake. So for me, that's going to be the number one iconic JDM legend of my list. But I'd love to know what you guys think. If you guys think it's the Evo, if you think it's the Skyline, which I think I'm going to hear a lot, let me know in the comments. But today, for me, personally, I'm declaring the 1998 Toyota Supra the most legendary, iconic JDM car. Thank you guys so much for hanging out if you made it to this point in the video. Like I said at the start, I really hope to make a lot more videos like this. I hope to get some other people involved. in the making of these videos. I really would like this to become a channel standard, and if you want to help me get there, or if you want to help me take this to the real world, instead of having to do it inside of Forza, where I could drive real cars and produce a real show, then help support by subscribing. It's the best way to help my channel grow, liking the video, and if you want to take it even further, you can check out my Patreon. The link's in the description. If you want to talk to me directly, check out my Discord server. That's also in the description. You can give me fun challenge ideas or suggest cars and things for me to review and just have an all-round good time. With that being said, thanks again for watching this video the whole way through. I appreciate you, and if you want to be as cool as my patron Sammy Devil, you know where to find the link, and I'll see you guys in the next one.